Rachel Zegler's short career has already been tainted by a multitude of controversies, most of them centered around her role in the new live-action bastardization of Disney's Snow White. Therefore, it probably wasn't the best timing for just a few days after the recent trailer dropped for Snow White, which got completely and totally annihilated. One of the worst ratios we've ever seen for a trailer like this on YouTube for her to release a movie, but that's exactly what happened. Rachel Zegler, who nearly everything she's been involved in has been a financial failure or a disappointment, had another movie that came out last week, and of course that was Y2K. Rachel Zegler's Y2K bombs at the box office following Snow White Backlash, and bomb it did. $2.1 million on its opening weekend. Now, Y2K is certainly not something in the same realm of Snow White, which cost well over $300 million. The budget for Y2K is something more in the range of $15 million, not including all the advertisements, something that probably needed to hit around $45-50 million just to break even. Well, unfortunately for Rachel Zegler, the star power wasn't there, the audience wasn't there, the very same audience that in the aftermath of Donald Trump's election, she told them to go fuck themselves. Well, apparently they didn't want to show up for you, because now in its second weekend, it's completely and totally irrelevant. It barely cracked the top 10 in its first weekend of release, and now it's fallen out of even that. You have to scroll all the way down here to find Y2K, making a measly $684,000 in its second weekend. For a movie that had that bad of an opening, it still had a drop-off of nearly 70% at the box office. And as you can see, things don't bode well for Y2K going forward, now sitting just under 4 million. And it's not like it was only released in a few theaters. It had over 2,000 theaters upon its release. That's pretty big for movies like this, but nobody wanted to go see it. And if that wasn't evidence enough that it's a complete and total failure, they've already announced that 3 weeks, just 3 weeks after this movie debuted in theaters, another Rachel Zegler flop in theaters, that this is going to streaming, that this is going to video on demand. It's going digital 3 weeks after its release. Rachel Zegler's horror comedy flop Y2K gets digital streaming date. Y2K opened in theaters on the 8th of December. Did not go very well for them. Rachel, who plays Snow White in Disney's upcoming live-action version, stars as Laura. And of course, it's kind of a horror comedy that's supposed to be set in the late 90s coming into Y2K. According to Win2Stream, Y2K is expected to arrive on digital streaming via premium video on demand on Tuesday, December 24th. That's how pathetically bad this is. Now, like I said, virtually everything she's been involved with has been a financial failure. The biggest will undoubtedly be Snow White. I don't think there's any question about that. But when you look at the things she's had in her very short career, when she was catapulted to stardom by being cast in West Side Story, that was a huge financial flop. Shazam 2, huge financial flop. Of course, we know the story, what's going to happen with Snow White. The only thing she's done that broke even was Hungerbirds, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and that was a massive drop-off from any previous entry in the franchise. That may have made the studio around $20 million when it was all said and done. Her sole success, if you can call it that, with such a drastic drop-off in that franchise. Really no point in trying to make another one after that. But this is who Rachel Zegler is. This is what happens when you are so completely and totally out of touch, when you are so unlikable and unmarketable, because that's what Rachel Zegler is at this point. Whether it's the way she talks about the Disney movies of the past, the Snow White movie in the past, very disparaging remarks towards that, or whether it's her insistence that if you vote for Trump, I don't want you watching my movies. I don't want you part of my audience. I hope you never know peace. And no one took that apology that was scripted seriously at all, because they shouldn't have. The nail is in the coffin now for this movie. A24 puts out a lot of decent stuff. This one, clearly not one of them. A big financial failure once again for Rachel Zegler at the box office. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.